So, what is overexploitation? Overexploitation is the misuse of the Earth's natural resources that depletes the resources faster than the Earth can regenerate them. The overexploitation of animals has been happening since humans have roamed the Earth. We are the main cause, and impacts many different ecosystems such as marine ecosystems, terrestrial, or freshwater. Some biotic components are humans, food webs, and animals. Some abiotic components are tech and infrastructure, climate and weather, and economic markets. So, for the first example, we're going to be talking about the overfishing of sharks. Some ecological impacts it has is that the overfishing of sharks disrupts the food web of marine ecosystems by having a top down effect. It's caused a decline of larger sharks and has caused an increase in smaller fish populations that overgaze on other species and or habitats, also called trophic cascades. Some economic impacts is that it disrupts marine ecosystems, which can affect the economy of the coastal communities and their main source of food. The decline in fish and shellfish stocks has led to a loss of jobs in those specific areas. Current research, or what's currently being done for this issue, is some countries are taking a proactive approach to this issue by implementing specific laws that ban possessing or selling shark fins and establishing marine protected areas, which means in those areas sharks cannot be hunted and captured. The fourth example is the poaching of the pangolins. Some ecological impacts is that this has caused all 8 pangolin species to be threatened with extinction. This is a direct threat to global diversity by removing a keystone species, and this obstructs ecological recovery that is caused by seed dispersion and plant restoration from pangolins making their burrows. Some economic impacts is there's been an increase in their prey insects, and that's costing millions of dollars for pest control and in agricultural damages. The poaching of pangolins funds the illegal trade and is linked to the spread of zoonotic diseases. Fun fact, there's current research on the pangolins being intermediate host for COVID, which is interesting. Some current things that are being done is countries are becoming stricter on their protective laws and creating anti-poaching units. An obstacle is that the demand for pangolin skin is keeping the black market very active and makes protecting them a lot harder. For the fifth example, we are using the overfishing of horseshoe crabs. The ecological impacts is that it declines the populations of birds that prey on their eggs and negatively alters the nutrient cycles that help fertilize sediment in their habitats. Some economical impacts is it risks the global medical supply chain because horseshoe crabs' blue blood is used for testing vaccines and negatively impacts commercial fishing by creating a bait shortage specifically for eels. What's currently being done is the Atlantic States Marine Fisheries Commission is enforcing strict harvesting bans on harvesting female horseshoe crabs and implementing state-by-state regulations. Researchers are also working in developing a synthetic blood similar to horseshoe crab's blue blood. For example 8, the overharvesting of California red-legged frogs. Some ecological impacts is that this has caused a cascading effect on other animals, which led to a food chain disruption. It's a loss of a natural pest control, specifically of pests that transmit diseases. This has caused an extreme decline in their population. and this has allowed new invasive species into their habitats. Some economic impacts are the high cost of conservation and recovery since the late 90s, and this negatively affects recreational fishing by the loss of wetlands. Some current research is currently there is a global treaty called CITES that regulates the international trade of California red-legged frogs. For example, 10, the overfishing of bluefin tuna. Some ecological impacts. This has a top-down effect on the food web, leading to an increase in cephalopods and a decline in their prey such as sardines. Methods used to catch the tuna often bycatch endangered species such as sea turtles. This negatively impacts the cycling and distribution of nutrients and plankton, which is crucial for their ecosystems. Some economic impacts. Fishing becomes harder, which leads to fishermen spending more to catch less fish. And this causes economic hardships for communities that rely on tuna. What's currently being done is there's been national and international regulations put in place to set limits and marine protected areas. An obstacle that affects these efforts is pirate fishing and the high demand for tuna worldwide.